And let's finish the first chapter of A Gathering of Gargoyles, which is called Isternes. So we got Ariel, we got Irileth. They're in the city of Isternes, where Irileth's mother lives, who does believe that Irileth is her son, who had been under some enchantment, but neither Ariel nor Irileth is comfortable telling his mother that he was a dark angel and had killed all of the brides that he killed. Also, Ariel and Irileth are totally uncomfortable touching each other. We have a little bit of a callback to, if you know, the myth of Cupid and Psyche, which I promise you I will read to you soon, probably from the book Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, with Ariel looking at Irileth sleeping and spilling a little bit of oil on him. And we will pick up from where the page break is. The criers in the temple spires had ceased. Foot traffic in the streets below grew much less. Ariel opened her eyes. From where she sat on the smooth stone bench, she fingered the neck of her bandolin, the 4 tune strings and heavy drone. 3 day months she had been in Isternes. Hearing movement, she turned toward the door. The Lady Silva entered. Ariel smiled a little wanly. She had wanted to be alone. The lady wore no turban now, her pale hair set with combs and thickly plaited. Ariel moved to give her room upon the bench. All still, the lady said, gazing past her across the square. All gone to the great kirk to hear the tales. Ariel sat down her bandolin. Will they not be needing you in the kirk? She asked. Silva shook her head. Not till Solstar sets. There is time. Play me your bandolin. Ariel lifted the instrument again. She had learned to play a long time past in Touraine. Her mistress, Eowyn, had taught her. Ariel's lip trembled. They had been more companions than mistress and serving maid, like sisters almost, until the Dark Angel had stolen Eowyn away. Dark Angel Irileth. The fair-skinned girl bit her lip till she stopped thinking. She fretted the strings of the little instrument. The world wends weary on its way. The haze hangs heavy on the sea. If only there would come a day when you would not turn from me. The words wound on with runs and ornaments as Ariel plucked and thrummed. That is a sad song, the Lady Silva said when she had done. For one so young and lately wed to be singing. Ariel looked down and said nothing. The lady seemed to be watching her. After a time, the other said carefully, Tell me, if you will, how things lie between you and my son. Ariel felt her throat tighten. The knuckles of her one hand about the instrument grew white. She toyed with the hem of her wedding sari. You do not sleep in the same chamber, the lady said very gently. Ariel turned, gazed out the window. She wanted desperately to fly away from Isternes. But she could not leave Irileth, for she was drawn to his beauty still. She had chosen to love him rather than destroy him, a choice which bound her yet. Solstar lay partially hidden by mountains to the east. Ariel found herself speaking without meaning to. The words were low. He will not enter a chamber where I am sleeping, or lie where I have lain. So I have left him the inner room of the apartments you gave us and slept without. Silva said nothing for a little. My attendants say his dreams are troubled. Ariel shook her head, not quite sure what she meant, save she felt that she must answer somehow, and her voice had deserted her. The lady sighed. When you first came, 3 day months past, I bade the 2 of you tell what had befallen to bring you here, but Irileth would not speak, left you to tell it all. Ariel would not look at her. You did not give us the whole tale, then, said Silva gently. Some parts, I think, you did not tell. What was the enchantment upon my son? How came he, by the scars upon his shoulder and cheek? The lion did it, thought Ariel. The lion of Pendar rescuing me. The Dark Angel would have killed me if the lion had not come. But he is the Dark Angel no more. He is Irileth now. My husband is the Dark Angel no more. Her voice came back to her. Lady, I may not tell you. Those things are my husband's to speak of if he chooses. Again, the other fell silent, eyed her a moment, as if considering, then seemed to change her mind. "You have such green eyes, child," she said, "like beryl stones. They remind me of my birth sister, who was regent here when I wed the Avaric king and followed him across the sea of dust into the west." The lady sighed a little sadly. "Oh. She went merchanting after my return. I have not had word of her in many years." Ariel felt her fair skin flush. All during her childhood in Touraine, her mistress Eowyn had teased her unmercifully for her odd-colored eyes. Silva was speaking again. "Irka," she muttered. "My sister was named Irka." She stopped herself suddenly, drew breath, and stood, gazing past Ariel. The Turanian girl turned and saw Solstar, now 3/4 sunk away. "Time's short, I had not realized," the Lady Silva said. "I must to Kirk, but afterwards I would talk with you more, dear heart, about my son. I am troubled for him and for you. Say you will sup with me." And that is the end of chapter 1.